While the Oscars showcase movies and the Grammys represent music, the Emmys is an award show featuring TV shows. The Emmys is named after the statue given out. It also commemorates the image of Orthicon, a camera tube used in television. The statue is a wind woman holding up an atom, which symbolizes the rise of the art and science in the industry. The first Emmy Awards show took place on January 25, 1949 at the Hollywood Athletic Club. It was originally broadcasted on KTSL radio station, and 6 awards were given. The 2018 17th Primetime Emmy Awards was held in the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Despite recent low ratings, the Emmys holds around the same popularity as the Oscars and the Grammys. The Emmys has also expanded their number of nomination categories.
One of the main reasons why we chose the Emmys for an award show is to demonstrate how TV is more immediate than film. TV shows represent today's current trends and hot topics because they can be made in a timely manner compared to film. Further, people surround themselves with television whether they are intently watching or if it's playing in the background. Films require active attention and focus on the plot and are more time-consuming. TV also serves to advertise through product placement. This gives the spotlight to the newest products in an unconventional manner. Ad placement works specifically well displayed on television as programming can be produced and released quickly when the product is about to go on to market or being introduced to the market. The product can be reoccurring and constant throughout the television series. People enjoy a wide range of programming in regards to television. If there is a niche, most people will take the opportunity to fill it. That is why Emmy-nominated shows such as Game of Thrones or This Is Us receive many nominations in various categories because it fills a particular niche that was originally a longing to be produced. Another important aspect to television, but also in pop culture, resonates with music. As discussed in class, music provides a television production with a sense of purpose that goes beyond the visuals or the acting. Music is another added layer to television and commercials alike. The nomination categories range from comedy, featuring shows like Friends or The Office, as well as drama. Last year's nominations included Stranger Things and This Is Us, whereas the reality category highlighted shows like RuPaul's Drag Race and Naked and Afraid. Other nomination categories include animation, documentaries, children's programming, music, and commercials.
Jeannie, listen, we started out this show to celebrate the art of drag, and in doing so, we brought along a bunch of kids who had varied backgrounds, and we have challenges that are fun and all that, but these kids bring their courage and their stories, and that's where the heart is. There's an interesting balance of entertainment and of deep stories that really touch our audience. And I think that is why people love us so much, and I think that's where we got the Emmy.
Well, but you wouldn't say, as we were kidding around at the beginning of the show, we solved it. That message still needs to be told very strongly?
Oh, yes. There's so much that we need to do in this country. We're living in a country that's very divided right now. I feel like our show adds a little relief for the outsider. We celebrate people who dance outside the box, and those are my favorite kind of people. But those stories need to be told, and I think there is value in those stories for everyone, not just drag queens or superstar journalists like yourself.
Last year's nominations are a direct reflection of 2018, capturing the chaos of Kala culture while focusing on shows that are based on inclusivity in all forms. Many actors and productions that had a lens focused on diverse and complex characters were highlighted in last year's nominations. This Is Us, Blackish, and The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt all promise inclusivity. Queer Eye, Netflix rebooted the franchise, is a structured reality show in which style experts forge relationships with men and women who often have different beliefs from them, leading them to moments of social commentary, interspersed with style advice. Last year, they were nominated for 4 Emmys, and at the end of the night, they ended up winning 3 of them. Their acceptance speech was very telling in regards to the work that needs to be done in order for a more inclusive and diverse world.
This recognition's amazing. I just think about all the DMs we get from kids all over the world, the LGBTQIA plus community who don't have a voice, and just with visibility alone and just showing up and being who we are, that what we get to do every day is such a blessing.
The book Popular Culture Introductory Perspectives by Marcel Denisi differentiates high culture from low culture. High culture is art and culture considered to have a superior value socially, aesthetically, and historically. Low culture is of inferior value, often described as obscene, vulgar, and raunchy. Middle culture refers to socially acceptable ground between high and low culture. Referring to the 2018 Emmy nomination list, we applied the standards of popular culture to see if the Emmys nominated were high or low culture productions. Many of the nominated television shows have high popularity within the Academy. For example, the HBO drama Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has been nominated 128 times and has won 47 Emmys. This demonstrates that Game of Thrones is a high culture show. Other examples of high culture shows are Breaking Bad, Grey's Anatomy, and How to Get Away with Murder. Another example is Genius Picasso, a limited series created by National Geographic. Genius Picasso received 7 nominations, however only won 2 awards. The show would be identified as middle culture. Other examples of middle culture shows are Planet Earth, Survivor, and America's Got Talent. Low culture shows would include TMZ, Big Brother, and Jersey Shore.
The Women's March started on January 20th, 2018, where hundreds of thousands of people across the globe marched, chanted, and protested for women's empowerment. Demonstrations also focused on President Trump's views on immigration, abortion, LGBT rights, and women's rights on the anniversary of his inauguration. On May 25th, 2018, call-out culture rised with the sexual harassment charges filed against Harvey Weinstein. Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein is arraigned in Manhattan criminal court to face first and third-degree rape charges following dozens of allegations of sexual harassment and assault against him. Hashtag the Me Too movement. On September 27, 2018, the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearing was underway with a lot of controversy. The U.S. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh delivered a fiery testimony as part of his confirmation hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee that included flat denials of multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. Kavanaugh was later confirmed to the Supreme Court, but there was a lot of division within the country. Hashtag the Me Too movement. When discussing social issues, comedy shows are usually at the forefront. The comedy nominations are also diverse in terms of humor and in regards to race. The 2018 Emmy nominees included popular shows such as Black-ish and Atlanta. The significance of these shows being nominated is finally gaining the recognition they deserve as they confront serious social issues. Black-ish, through comedy and family values, explores success and cultural assimilation as an African-American family living in a classy neighborhood, while also attempting to create a sense of ethnic identity that will stay with them in their future endeavors. Despite being nominated 13 times, it is still yet to receive an Emmy. Inclusive shows are setting a precedent for new shows to be created and celebrated, which in this case is recognized and awarded by the Emmys. By the show being nominated, they are validating that people watch these shows and support them.
Although the Me Too movement was a peaceful protest in collective dresswear, the Emmys provided a blank canvas for actors and actresses to express themselves about various social and political problems. The first example is Black-ish star Jennifer Lewis, who wore Nike to support Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick is a football player and activist who protested racial injustice and ongoing police brutality by kneeling during the national anthem. He is part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Orphan Black star Tatiana Maslany wore a Planned Parenthood pin on her dress. Planned Parenthood has made it its mission to give affordable health care for women, men, and young people. Tatiana Maslany wore the Planned Parenthood pin to make a stance against anti-abortion politicians who are trying to shut down Planned Parenthood by defunding the nonprofit. However, Planned Parenthood is an essential service for many women, and by defunding them would especially hurt women with low incomes, young women who are educated by their services, and people living in rural areas. The Emmys are more than an award show. It is a platform that celebrities can and are encouraged to express themselves not only through fashion, but through political and social affiliation. By doing this, actors and actresses are encouraging others to speak up and use their voices to create change, causing a ripple effect.
Welcome back. It was a groundbreaking night last night at the Emmys. The awards show made history with wins for actors and writers of color, as well as the women-fronted productions that took home the top prizes. And it probably comes as no surprise that politics took center stage multiple times.
We did have a whole storyline about an impeachment, but we abandoned that because we were worried that someone else might get to it first.
In 1980, in that movie, we refused to be controlled by a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
And in 2017, we still refuse.
This will be the largest audience to witness an Emmys, period, both in person and around the world.
Unlike the presidency, Emmys go to the winner of the popular vote.
I suppose I should say, at long last, Mr. President, here is your Emmy.
And folks within the White House weren't laughing.
You're alienating at least 63 million Americans who supported this president last time, but you're alienating many more who want the president to succeed. And you're showing the world that you're so easy with an insult about our leader. I think that's really unfortunate, actually.
The Emmys acknowledges the various parts that make a production, further recognizing immediate television as opposed to film, which subsequently takes longer to produce. Moreover, the Emmys has turned into a political and social platform for many celebrities to express themselves and advocate for causes that they care about. The Emmys now carry meaning, having transformed from what was originally an award show to an active agent of change.